Today, I'm at historic Spanish Point in Osprey, Florida. Burial mound from 8300 to 800. A lot of this park is Native American land, as well as the properties of a lot of the founding settlers, the white settlers of the area. So I'll show you around. House. This has always been one of my favorite places to go visit, just because the walk is so nice. And then there's one of the houses. An aqueduct garden. It's pretty cool. It's the Palmer, which is the last name. Aqueduct, 1915, so 100 years old. Can you imagine living in this house and having a waterfront view? Here's the front of the house. And it overlooks the water.
Get this kind of information. Well, you are fantastic. Thank you so much. Lived along here and built all these mounds, so it was a good place to live for several thousand years.
Yeah. Like, I was born in Sarasota.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I love the story about when Mrs. Palmer read the ad about land for sale down here. And was on her way down, the Sarasota realized that they didn't have a hotel that she could possibly use.
Yeah.
So, don't.
I mentioned that this is in Osprey, Florida. Just to give it a point of reference for you, if you're not from the area, it is just south of Sarasota, Florida, on the Gulf Coast. They offer docile tours if you would be interested in that. And there's also trams that could take you from one point to another, if that is a perk to you. The last times I was here, I was on this footbridge, and I saw manatees. It'll be interesting to see if we see one today. Right in this area that I saw the manatee before. I don't see any today, though. And they gave me a map, so I thought I would read to you about the history of this area, just in case you're interested. It sits on Little Sarasota Bay, and it's 30 acres, focusing on both local history and plant life. One of the largest waterfront preserves showcasing native Florida plants in the state. The ancient peoples, boosting an archaeological record that stretches as far back as 5,000 years ago, and is ranked one of the largest intact, actively preserved archaeological sites of the Archaic and Minnesota periods on the Gulf Coast of Florida. The pioneer history in 1867, the Webb family, whose house that we just saw, moved down, and they built their house. And they finished that house in 1901, and it's been restored to what it would have looked like. So the furniture in there was not the original furniture. The only actually original piece in there was the piano that I showed you. So that was the Webb family. In 1910, Bertha Palmer, a Chicago businesswoman and widow, purchased 350 acres on Little Sarasota Bay, where we are, including the Webb homestead called the Oaks. And she put in gardens, a sunken garden, a lawn, jungle walks, and they're still enjoyed today. So over 100 years ago, a lot of these things were built and still intact. So yeah, that's a little tidbit of history of the local area that we are. Part of Sarasota, Little Sarasota Bay. Been in this area before, I would see dolphins jumping. The sunken gardens. There she is. That's Mrs. Palmer. Nice house, isn't it? This would be the white cottage. Brandon and Lanai, I don't know how new this is, but that would be pretty cool. And it goes right out onto the water. Yeah, I was hoping to be able to see some dolphins jumping, but I just haven't seen any. It's too bad. So, right down this way is the old citrus packing house and a chapel. So let's check that out. There's the Webb packing house. The Webb packing house, reconstructed in 1990. You can kind of see in right there. So they would get citrus, pack it up, and ship it off to different areas. And I guess this shows you kind of what it would look like. What's this? Sizer. The sizer is operated by hand. Oranges roll along and drop through the graded openings into one of 3 compartments, sizing the fruit so that the fruit is of the same size in this each box. It looks like you could try it out. There it goes. Ooh. And then they would crate them up and then bring it out here. It's such a beautiful day today. So there's the Palmer house, the Webb house that we just came from in the sunken gardens right over that area. So beautiful. It's a nice day. Not too hot. It's a little on the crisp side. It's on these types of days that I would love to have a kayak. This is what it looks like. I have always loved walking at Spanish Point. It's just so pretty. And from the side of the road, you know, when you enter it, you don't expect, if you've never been here, this much land. You don't expect it to be as big as it is. We are coming up on the chapel. Right around this corner. How pretty is that? Back of the chapel. Back of the chapel. I'm on the way back to the parking lot. So I've made the official big loop around historic Spanish Point. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's one of my favorite local-ish to me attractions that we have. I think it's just a really pretty place to be outside and see historical things. Take a walk. Of course, during the summer, it's probably not a great time because it's so hot. If you look right here, little marshy swamp area. I don't know if you can probably see it a little bit. It opens up over here. There. If you would be interested in seeing more of these types of videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that way you know when I do more videos like this. And if you have any suggestions of where you would like to see me go in and around Florida, leave those in the comments. I will definitely try to do it. And now I'm officially back at the parking lot. Take care, and I'll see y'all later.